And now to our first interview in the studio is with Comrade Haruna Braimah. He is a versatile consultant and a media personality. He is here and we're going to tap from his wealth of knowledge. Let's meet him. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, madam.
You're welcome.
It's my pleasure.
You're doing so much, sir.
Yeah, so much for being alive. It's actually enough for us to do so much to meet up with the daily needs and to also help the economy.
Well,
Yeah, that's why we have to do so much.
well then,
We
sir.
have to be active and productive to drive the economy.
So, documentation is very important in whatever we're doing in
Yes,
life.
yes.
So, what is a lot of business don't like documenting their businesses?
I won't say they don't like documentation. I will say they are ignorant of it. And programs like this will actually help to enlighten a lot, especially the SMEs. Within the SMEs, we have the medium enterprises. We have the lows of the lows who may feel there's no need for documentation.
Okay.
You know, but bookkeeping is an aspect that is very important, which is an aspect of documentation.
Yeah.
As you grow, you now call it accounting. But in that basic level, there is need for small businesses to have minutes of their activities, their business activity. Keep those small books, keep the small records. It helps to straighten out your business strengths, to ascertain whether you are making sales, your losses or your profits, and at the same time it will help you to check who is owing you as a small business.
Okay, so it doesn't matter which business you're doing.
It doesn't matter as far as you have evolved in any exchange, anything that has been that has evolved exchange of service or goods that is bringing in money, whether it's 1 naira or 2 naira. I feel the need for you to put a document down, put a record down somewhere.
So,
it might not be today we are having smartphones. Just keep something somewhere.
okay,
Keep
like
it down.
somebody that is selling akara.
Yeah,
How-
exactly.
you know,
Just a
it will
notebook.
be more of like, okay, I know it up head,
Yes.
but do you think it's very important
But
for
he
that
or she,
particular person
the
to put it?
person, he or she goes to the market to measure beans.
Yes.
She or she knows how many mudu she's taking, and she want to know. Just get a small paper or a small note. Tell the child or whoever is around the person, keep this record for me. I'm buying this XYZ for me to make the akara, plus oil, granite oil, pepper, and what have you. And at the end of the day, with other increment, because keeping records will help you to actually know the total cost. At times there are some what I call incremental costs that may arise, that they are intricate in nature that you cannot really hold it. You may just neglect those costs. But when you are keeping record, you now realize that I use transport. I take Okada to the junction where I sell this akara, where I go to make it every day. You put all these little things together, you will actually be able to ascertain if it's profitable or your venture is doing well or not. It's very important. Constant enlightenment and programs like this will actually help to straighten things out. It's very good.
I hope they are listening to us.
Yeah.
Well, recently there's a talk on SCOMO by the FCC.
Yeah,
What is it all about?
SCOMO, it was a security measure actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and to curb this some fraud, internet fraud, or banking and order to straighten things out. And it's not a bad idea. It's grouped along individuals and companies.
Oh.
Yeah, banks accounts that are companies, business name, and banks account that are individuals. Because beyond the SCOMO, as released by some government agencies, there's there's an amount of money
Okay.
that should go through a particular account, and there will be need for you to disclose.
Oh.
Yeah,
That-
for individual, I think it's around 10 million. For corporate organization, I think it's around from 50 million and above. I don't know the actual amount. You have to. There's need for history. So EFCC as a financial crime agency, they want to have access to monitor the history of such funds to curb all sort of illicit fund movements that are being used, that may be used inadvertently by every society has its own criminal minded
Yeah.
people or issues, So with individuals having to certify the EFCC certification, security certification in your account, You just feel that okay, they can trace the history if anything arises.
Okay.
So it helps both parties to make everybody do things clean.
Do you think the general public is accepting that?
Yeah, policy conceptualization, if by any government, is not necessarily going to be accepted on the short run by when they are conceiving that policy. But implementation process is always we always have a hit back from the public. But with time, you begin to see because the misadventures of not doing some of these things has really affected us today in the society. We have all sort of fraudulent activities going on in the banking sector, internet fraud and all that. So these are just some of the few measures. There are a lot that can still be done to regulate the banking industry, or not necessarily regulate, to be part of the effort of CBN in regulating the banking industry, because EFCC on its own is not a regulator to the banking industry. They are just supporting, bringing out security measures, which being a CBN as the major regulator will now make these commercial banks go to comply, because CBN also is part of the government agencies too. So they now have to make the government all hands on deck to curb a particular threat. And the threat is obvious. You see some individuals, you don't know where monies are moving, passing from here to here. And look at how they busted some people in Kano for finance of terrorist activities. You may not even know that money that went through your account was meant to finance illicit activity or illicit drugs and what have you.
Yeah, well, that should help.
So it just helps to strengthen disclosure. And in accounting, in the profession of auditing, in any finance, there must be disclosure. Disclosure is just be strengthened down on a daily basis. Beyond the surface of it has to be in your books, it has to be in your financial statement. Now, government is making effort through different regulatory framework. There's a Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria. They're also doing their own.
Okay.
It's all about regulation to straighten out things.
Okay. So about business that operate on multiple areas.
Yeah.
So how do you navigate the documentation of all this?
The first point is when you are into multiple activities, you streamline. You should be able to structure the business activities you are into. For example, you are into industrial minerals. You are an external auditor. You are a media person. These are three different areas of business.
Doesn't it affect one?
That's what I'm saying. You should be able to structure it. That what does it take to operate that industrial mineral? To operate there, you need a mining license. You will need a company. So get your act together in that regard. To be an external auditor, you need a practicing license from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria.
Okay.
You must be a professional accountant and be a professional tax consultant. You need a license. Get those one done.
So you must acquire almost everything.
Of course, to be a media personality and you are trying to register a media firm, you know that what you are going to, you know the activities. So each of these areas has its own structural regulatory framework that you need to follow.
Okay.
So you, the founder or the person who is running, who is actually driving, you may not be the day-to-day runner of these outfits, but you are the driver.
You are the brain.
You are the propeller,
You are the
brain behind it. You should be able to put your structure in place accordingly.
But still, for me, I feel one will be affected. I just feel there will be a strength in the other one than the other one.
There's one. The question is, what is actually driving people going into multiple businesses?
And then, okay, so since you have people there, so the documentation will.
Definitely. Yours, that's why I say you have to just from the beginning, make sure the structures are in place. What does it take me to go into this business? Get on the structure, registration with the CAC. I'm going into this business, find out about the business now. Let me register with the CAC. Where in the CAC registration, there's what is called the object clause of your business, which is the objective. You have stated the objective of your business, which is limited to a particular area of that business.
Okay.
I cannot register a business to drive industrial mineral, which is within the solid mineral and agro-allied consign, and tomorrow I'm using the same company to be doing media.
No, that's not possible.
Does it add up?
Yeah.
You understand? So that if there is need for me to go into media, then I need to get a media outfit. And what does it take to operate a media outfit also? I should be able to register a company with such coverage. such coverage. What does it take to operate an audit firm? This service rendering, accounting, audit, taxation, management, consultancy, everything. So everything is well spelled out there. Then when you are engaging your workforce, you put your workforce in accordance of their area of specialization and expertise.
Interesting.
What that is, you now become, then you, at the point you now tell yourself that I'm an entrepreneur, which does not take a particular qualification to be.
A versatile entrepreneur.
So you don't need to be, you may be a medical doctor by profession, but you get to a point you're an entrepreneur. So you just have to now begin to drive management activities into there, provide management leadership across board, and
So-
making sure that everything is being followed.
Oh, well, taxation is a tricky area, and Nigerian government is not joking with it. Please advise.
Actually,
the
we are joking
small-
with it. Yes.
But what advice can you give the small business owners?
Yeah, we are joking with it because it's a two-edged stuff. It's a two-edged knife.
Okay.
Yeah, the government need Nigeria. 80% of Nigerians are untaxed. Unfortunately, I'm saying this on air. It's unfortunate. This is the sad reality. And at the same time, more than 75% of Nigeria are not so well to do to be taxed.
Yeah.
So we
That's
are.
right.
So that's why I say it's a two-edged stuff. Taxation is as important to the government, but the ability to be taxed is also as important. Do we have the ability to be taxed as citizens? It's also so it's become a double responsibility to the government. Who is going to drive that ability in the people? Government need to also constantly create policies that will open up, like the federal government currently, the ease of doing business. Make it easy for you to do business. Make it the environment, this regulatory CAC, do this, do that. They are trying to make it easy whereby you can now go online and get some things, get some necessary information. You know,
Yes.
when you are having this ease of doing business, then the business will start opening. Like the 2021 report says Nigeria top the startup FDI, foreign direct investment, that enter startup businesses in Africa. We are topping.
Oh.
Yeah, we're raking some millions of dollars. We top, I think, followed by South Africa and Egypt. These are information that are not necessarily be promoted in the mainstream media, unfortunately, for whatever reasons. You understand? It's because of the government policies that is opening up the system. People are trickling into Nigeria on a daily basis. Go to Nasarawa Toto local government where you have industrial mineral limestones there. You see Chinese and Indians coming because the sector is being opening for people to come in. But the question of we within, are we really grabbing this information? Are we utilizing them? There's one thing for government to drive policy, to bring up policy. There's another thing for you to sit down and look at the policy and know how do you leverage on this policy as an entrepreneur, as an individual, as a citizen. How do you leverage on it? And when government is now beginning to open all this, then taxation, the ability to pay tax will now be coming in. All these companies that are coming to Nigeria will be paying CIT, company income tax. They will be paying value-added taxes and other withholding tax, other form of taxes. You understand? And Nigerians on our own, the ones that are even captured within the tax bracket are those that are mainly in the government sector pay. Most of the private sector don't even remit their pay. It's a battle. I'm a tax consultant.
Oh.
It's a battle for someone, and the government now begin to. Do you have the strength? Government should. I'm on air. I will advise the government across both states.
So what level of awareness do you think?
They should begin to engage consultants.
Okay.
Because we are external auditors. We are professional. We meet clients. We look through their books. We discover. We advise them. Why are you not remitting? Why are you not paying your pay? So they should engage consultants to be going, because it's obvious that they don't have the staff strength.
Yes.
To really go and do all this.
Wow.
So it's a huge pain. But
It is.
also the government with like from the Financial Act of 2021 that was released by the federal government by President Muhammadu Buhari, he created a lot of tax tax holidays for the SMEs.
Okay.
We say that when you are running a business between 1 million, a business that is even from 10,000, that is less than 500,000, you are exempted from tax, even up to 10 million. You know, like that. If you are a company, there's an exemption. You know, all this most of us don't know, and also the popularly they suffer double taxation You don't even know all sort of levy that you pay tomorrow. Local government people will come. This one will come. This one will come because of that enlightenment. Both the government and the governed, everything there should be synchronization of policy implementation as far as taxation is concerned.
Wow. We have so much to discuss.
Thank you very
There's
much.
so much for the general public to be aware of, to be enlightened. And I know you do, well, this is part of it.
Yeah, this is just part
Just,
of it.
yeah.
Maybe like a tip.
This is touching the surface.
Yeah.
And then we'll also like you to come again and again and again to give us.
It will be my pleasure if I'm disposed.
We hope you will be.
Okay.
We hope you will be.
I'll
Thank you
try.
so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, we've been speaking to Comrade Haruna Braimah. You've heard him. There's so much for the general public to be aware of. And now we'll take a short break, and today in history will come up.